Hi, I'm Dr. John Aquaviva, Professor of Exercise Science at Wingate University, and welcome to this edition of The Fitness Doctor. For over 20 years, I've been involved in fitness and exercise, both as a professor and a practitioner. My aim is to help people in their efforts to improve their fitness, weight management, and overall health. Every year, fitness clubs open all over the country. Many attempt to offer something different, or at least try to motivate their clients in a new way. On this series, we take a look at one of those motivators. I want to welcome back to the show Regina Gunn, owner of Gunn's Fitness. Okay, before we start, Regina, talk about the double meaning behind your last name being Gunn and then how it applies to your fitness center.
Well, I guess I was kind of blessed in that way. I should have known I was going to be a personal trainer, but our shirts say "Got Guns," meaning "Got Guns, Guns Fitness," but
That's right.
Got Guns, so it's pretty cool. Recently, I got married, so I'm Regina Gunn Arndt now, so I still got to keep that Gunn in there so everyone doesn't forget me.
That's right. So it is on the end of your last name, but the Gunn is first, and that still is going to help promote your business. That's good stuff. Let's talk about something that maybe a lot of people would think about. People that own some type of fitness center or involved in fitness. You guide so many people in helping them work out and motivating them and helping change their behaviors, dieting as well as exercise and so forth. How do you find time to work out? Like, how do you manage that?
I love it. Either I'm going to work out with a boot camp, so I'll do 2 or 3 boot camps. But recently,
in one day, you'll do
in one day.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which is how many minutes or hours of exercise?
It's an hour each.
Got it.
Yep.
Got it.
I recently trained for a fitness competition, and not only was I doing boot camps, I was at the gym for another 2 to 3 hours, and then doing cardio, and I just absolutely love it.
Did you ever feel burned out as a result of that?
Towards the end, I did with the 2 hours of cardio a day plus working out's a lot. But when it's just something inside of you, and I love doing it, and I'll never quit.
Awesome. And just out of curiosity, do your clients know how much you work out a day? Like, for instance, if you're doing the 3rd boot camp of the day, do they know that you've actually done 2 before that?
Oh, they know.
That would help motivate them.
They do. And what's so great about my clientele is sometimes I don't want to do a 2nd boot camp, and I'll just instruct them, and they're like, come on, we're here. And some of them do 2 boot camps in a row as well. Yeah, and I'm like, well, if they're doing it, I have to do it too. So they motivate me way more sometimes than I'm motivating them.
Now, are there, so that's an explanation on what I want to talk about now, and that's one of the ways that you get motivated. But what are other ways that you get motivated? Because there's a whole lot of people who wake up every day and they go, I'm going to work out today. And then when it comes time to do it, they think about all the reasons that they should feed their cat instead of going work out.
Yeah.
What do you do to motivate yourself to work out?
I hear that all the time.
Yeah.
You have to be training for something.
There's got to be a goal in mind.
Yep. There's always something on the calendar. We started this year with a half marathon. We do multiple 5Ks, 10Ks. Me personally, I just did this fitness competition. That was 9 weeks of training, and now me and one other brave client, we signed up for a Spartan Beast, and that's 10 to 12 mile obstacle course in North Carolina.
Timed against other people, it's a competition.
Oh yeah, sure is.
It's 10 to 12, how far is this?
10 to 12 miles, obstacles.
Got it. And my guess is 30-40% of the contestants die every year.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
No, that's not true. Only about 5 or 10% die.
Right, but I won't be one of them.
Now, go back to the 5 and 10K. Now, you guys don't necessarily organize it through Gunn's Fitness. Just maybe encourage your clients to be a part of one of the local races going on.
Right. We support a lot of the local 5Ks. I love donating. I love helping out causes.
So you're a sponsor.
Mm-hmm. So we sponsor them. We get our Gunn's Fitness team together, and we all show up. We'll shut boot camp down for that weekend and all go and support a cause and run a 5K together.
Interesting. So you almost force people to kind of be involved in this by shutting down. But the actual club doesn't shut down, but that's one of the ways that you can encourage people to go is you shut that aspect, the boot camp, down.
Yes.
All right, this is a great segue to boot camp. Tell us about what that means, boot camp.
Boot camp is a great way for a group of people of all fitness levels at my boot camp to get together, whether you're 14, whether you're 70.
Yep.
You can all come to boot camp and get an amazing workout, and it's less expensive than personal training.
Sure.
A lot of people are scared of the term boot camp.
Why?
They automatically picture a drill sergeant with camo on, boots up to here, screaming at you.
In the rain, mud, 40-degree weather.
Exactly, face in the ground.
Yeah.
It's not like that at all, not at my gym. We work hard, very hard.
Sure.
But I don't scream and yell. I don't spit in anyone's face. You don't degrade people.
Sure.
We don't have mirrors because some people are very self-conscious about what they look like.
Yep.
They don't want others looking at them.
Sure.
And we are just such a tight-knit family that everyone encourages everyone in that small boot camp setting.
Sure.
But it's not intimidating at all. And I want people to know, at least at Gunn's Fitness, it's not that kind of an atmosphere. You can come and it really is a safe place.
Now, one of the aspects about boot camps and similar programs is the workout's not the same from workout to workout,
Exactly.
right? And the boot camps are held just on the weekend, right? Or
No,
is it
we
daily?
have, we offer 15 different hours of boot camps throughout the week, Monday through Saturday.
Got it. So Sunday's the only day that you can't. Are you
Yep.
are you guys open on Sunday?
Nope.
Got it. So you and Chick-fil-A, you're out of chicken sandwich. You're out of a
Exactly.
boot camp.
Yeah, that's right.
And of these boot camps, how many do you teach? Just out of curiosity.
I teach more than half of them. I do have someone, her name is Trina. She has been a huge blessing to Gunn's Fitness.
Sure.
She is a beast of a woman, let me tell you. And
Which
she'll
means
go,
that she's just really fit and motivated, right?
exactly. She's amazing. And my clients love
love
her.
her. Got it.
And when I come back to work and teach the next boot camp and they're sore and they're complaining,
Yeah.
she's doing a good job.
Got it. Tell us about some of the exercises that, like, if I went to watch a boot camp, or I went to, I talked to somebody that was in, what would they tell me that they're participating in?
Well, we're going to get your cardio in.
Okay.
We're going to lift every single muscle group.
Okay.
So somehow we
So
have
for
to
instance,
figure out.
Cardio. What would
Right.
what would be some different aspects of boot camp where cardio is the main focus?
If cardio is going to be the main focus, we may not need weights that day. I have a fantastic little hill in the back. We'll run up and down that. We do sprints, jumping jacks, anything plyometric to get your heart rate up, even push-ups.
Got it.
Anything like that, we're going to get your cardio in that way.
So there's a lot of exercises and a lot of training where your own body weight is the only resistance.
Exactly.
And then are there other, do you guys bring in some forms of equipment?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, and what would be some of those forms of equipment that are used?
We do all functional training. So it's your body weight, and we just use medicine balls, plyo balls. We have steps with risers, bands, dumbbells. We have Olympic bars. We use stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have gym equipment. I would never sit someone on a curl machine. To me, that's kind of pointless unless you're a bodybuilder and you just need to concentrate on that. I rather get you on a BOSU ball, have you work your stability, your core, do some curls while you're on that. We get a lot more accomplished in that amount of time.
This is a good time to talk about functional fitness. You mentioned this term. This is a new word, or a relatively new word in the world of fitness. Explain what that is and how the boot camp directly addresses that.
Well, functional training, it's all about, like you said, when you're just using your body, and we're really focusing on core strength, stability, and that is extremely important. That is the one thing, if you don't work on your core, if you don't work on your balance and flexibility, you lose it.
Sure.
And as we get older and as we tend to fall off working out and come back onto it, you have to reintroduce that stuff to your body, and that's exactly what we do each and every boot camp.
Got it. For the boot camp, the exercises are different. They change from day to day, week to week. My guess is there's probably some pattern, though, that, for instance, like maybe 2 weeks later, you may do something different, or you may do the same thing again, or at least something similar, because you can only have so much combination. But the fact is, because you're using the own body weight as resistance, and you can incorporate so much equipment, that either way, it's not a mirror of what they did the week before, the day before.
No, exactly.
And that's one of the things that keeps them motivated, right?
Exactly. And your body needs that too. You need to switch it up because your body's going to get used to the things that you do to it. So that's what's great about Trina and I is I might do something different one day and she'll do something different the next day. And it does. It keeps you motivated and it keeps your body thinking, oh, I haven't done this in a month. I'm going to change and do it a little differently, and you might be really sore and you're thinking, I come to boot camp 6 times a week, why am I sore? But we're just reintroducing something that we might have done a month ago.
That's right. And what about some of the comments that people make about boot camp? For instance, what are their expectations, and what are the results that they get, and kind of like what do they talk to you about? Like what are the personal kind of testimonies that they've given to you?
Well, we always say pain is love at Gunn's Fitness. So yes, it's going to hurt, but that's
twist on the word pain,
right. But that's good. I have had clients for 4 to 5 years come into boot camp every single week, and they love it. And it really is because we're so close and we're a family.
Sure.
And they know they're going to come. They're going to get a good workout. I've had people lose up to 100 pounds from boot camp.
Is that right?
100 pounds. And that's life-changing. And they keep coming back, and they know it's going to be hard, and they don't want to get up in the morning. But at the end, everyone always says thank you. And that's big for me. Just thank you for kicking my butt.
Yeah. Yeah, that is interesting that that's one of the terms that they use, but of course they know that they wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for you, if it wasn't for people like you, because a lot of people now, especially with the internet, a lot of articles that are out there via the internet, magazines and so forth, in addition to other publications or other avenues of information, we know more than ever what to do, but the fact is we still need help in doing it.
Right.
And you're one of the folks that you guys help people actually jump in and keep coming and so forth.
Absolutely.
What is, now you guys offer a few programs, right? Mm-hmm. So you guys offer personal training, in-home training.
We do.
Which is basically at people's house. Correct. Personal training. Mm-hmm. Which one are you involved in the most directly?
Boot camps and personal training. Not in-home as much. I love people coming to my facility, and they like getting out of their homes.
Yeah, that would
That's
make sense.
The problem, is getting people out of the house. But I do a lot of boot camps and personal training too. Those are for the people who, like I said, they're self-conscious to be around people, or they just like that one-on-one feel. They might have different goals. I might have to train them specifically for something, so that's why they come to me one-on-one.
What's an example of that? What's maybe a recent personal training client that had a specific goal that you directly addressed through personal training that wouldn't necessarily be touched on, at least not directly through, say, the boot camp?
I've recently helped a half marathoner. I've helped triathletes. Right now, I just got a new client. She's thinking about doing a fitness competition like I just did. So she gets trained completely different.
Then say the person that's getting ready for a half marathon. Mm-hmm. So most of that focus, even though there's probably some resistance training, most of that focus is cardio, right? And then you probably
muscle, leg endurance, totally.
Got it. Mm-hmm. And that's a good challenge for you, isn't it? For all these different clients to come in, and it really challenges your knowledge of fitness and so forth.
It's so much fun. Yeah. So much fun.
And that's, although probably there's a lot of people that look at fitness professionals and they think this person does the same thing every day, was actually couldn't be further from the truth, right? Even though it's all under the umbrella of fitness,
right,
you do different stuff all the time.
Right, exactly.
And that's one of the great things about offering these different programs, in-home training, personal training, and the boot camp and so forth. And that's, again, back to the boot camp, that's truly one of the strengths, isn't it? You could literally wake up that day and go, I'm going to create a new workout, just a brand new workout for today.
It's so much, it's a blast. It is, I have the best job, hands down.
Awesome. Next to mine, of course.
Of course.
Last thing before we go, what's next for Gunn's Fitness? What's in the future? What do you hope to kind of accomplish? Maybe that you haven't touched on at this point, or what's next?
Actually, in November, we are going to be expanding. We are in size in our current facility, so we're not moving locations.
Just breaking down a couple walls.
Exactly, literally. Okay. We are renting the space next to us. We're going to get a massage company in there. So
they can go from the boot camp to
see, so I can beat them up more and say, don't worry, just go next door, we'll work it out. And we're going to knock down some of the offices in the current space and widen it up, give some people some more space. And that's just because we're building, and awesome. It's word of mouth. People just love coming, and they bring their friends, their moms.
Very good.
So it's a great time.
Now, if we can work on them bringing their grandmoms and their great-grandmoms, we would.
I have a grandma.
There you go.
Sure do, too, actually.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Thanks for being on the show again. We hope that you join us again after the break, and we'll meet another entrepreneur in the fitness world. Come right back. Welcome back to the Fitness Doctor. In the world of exercise, clients of all ages have a growing number of options to improve their fitness level. Some of the fitness companies have a unique angle, like marketing their product to a specific age group or to one gender. On this series, we take a look at a local fitness entrepreneur. I want to welcome to the program Stephen Vaughn, owner of Excel to Fitness. Let's talk about what Excel to Fitness is. Tell us about this company.
Okay, it's a program specifically for 3rd through 5th grade boys, and it functions as an after-school program.
Sure.
So it's in local schools as well as surrounding areas. But the program, it functions out of a scripted manual, and it goes for 6 weeks, and it's 12 sessions long. So a school can run it 2 days a week for an hour after school to make it convenient for the boys at their location and parents picking them up. The program has 5 specific fitness goals and 3 specific character building goals, because the mission of our program is using the fundamentals of fitness to develop the character boys need to chase their dreams. So that's the mission, and that's the core value of the whole thing. So when we looked at the fundamentals of fitness, I wanted to incorporate speed, strength, agility, balance, and cardiovascular endurance, because I didn't want this program to be a one-dimensional program that limited certain boys to doing it rather than others. So I wanted those fitness components, because I realized that that's almost like daily skills used in every part of life.
Sure.
Whether you're an athlete or just someone looking to be active after school in recreational activities. I also wanted to implement the character building part of this program. So this program really focuses on teamwork, leadership, and goal setting, and we really want those 3 aspects to hammer home the idea of these boys really being able to chase their dreams and facing challenges in life and overcoming them. And when you get knocked down, you get back up a stronger kid. And you know, through teaching, I realized that this niche, this 3rd through 5th grade area for boys, was an area where there was little guidance and little offered for them to help with this. So it really started developing a passion to see something change and make an impact for them.
So you mentioned teaching. You used to be an elementary school physical education instructor.
Yes.
Right here in Wingate, in fact.
Yes, sir.
And tell us about how you used to do both at one time, right? You were involved in, you guys created Excel to Fitness, and then you were teaching, and then eventually some things changed, and motivation and so forth, and you said, I want to jump full-time into Excel to Fitness. And that was part of your motivation, right? You thought, these boys need something, they need some guidance both physically and kind of character building wise, and you just saw an opportunity and you took it.
Right. So, I was so passionate about teaching, and I still am. And so I taught for 7 years, and 5 of those years was in elementary school. And they were right here at Wingate Elementary, and it's near and dear to my heart. Sure. And I started seeing a big need in Wingate Elementary School, and it just kind of, I realized that it was bigger than Wingate Elementary School. Yeah. And I promised myself at the beginning, in 2009, when this thing started, it was just a brainstorm, I promised myself that I would teach as long as I could physically do it, and it got to the point this past summer, where I used the summer to see if it would fill up my time and really start becoming a full-time position, and I could no longer juggle both. And one of the things that I'm very passionate about is being excellent at what I do and giving 100% at what I do, and I was no longer able to do that. And so unfortunately I had to resign, but I realized the bigger picture and the calling in my life to make an impact through this program.
Sure, and I know this question can go without being asked, but no regrets. I can tell in the previous conversations that we had, and you being here right now, no regrets about jumping this, but it's probably fairly scary, and I introduce you as an entrepreneur, and this is what entrepreneurs do. Sometimes there's a leap of faith there, and but the fact is you've had some experience in this where you're juggling both, and you just saw that there would be clients that would be interested in this program. Now let's talk a little bit more about the program. For instance, tell us a school that's been involved in this program, so some of the students from that school, and what does that day look like?
Okay, so let's just take Wingate Elementary School, for example. They would, for example, run on Tuesday, Thursday from 2:15 to 3:15. Mm-hmm. 2 coaches from the school. This could be staff members. This could be like PTA, parent volunteers. local parents that just want to get involved can run the program. We go through a coaches training session, but the manual is completely scripted to where a very little preparation is needed for a coach to get in front of them. The diagrams are there for them.
Sure.
The equipment's provided for them.
Sure.
So the hour session will kind of break down like this. There's a max of 20 boys on a team for 2 coaches, 10-to-1 ratio. You start out and it's small talk. You huddle the boys up, you tell them about the character component of the day, and you tell them that that's going to surround everything we're doing for that day, and it could be a speed lesson. Because in every session, there's 12 sessions, so each session is broken down for a specific fitness component.
Sure.
They go through that, and then there's a dynamic warm-up at the beginning appropriate for the skills they're going to be doing. And then what's really cool, let's say you and I are coaching, you would break off into small group challenges. So I would take 10, you would take 10. We run through small group challenges. We flip-flop after 10 minutes, and you get my set of boys, I get your set of boys, another 10 minutes, and then we all come together for what we call a showdown.
Okay.
And this is a big challenge where all the boys can rally together and accomplish a challenge.
So they're not necessarily competing against one another. They're just trying to, a challenge has been created, and they're just trying to accomplish or complete this challenge.
Correct, yes,
presented
sir.
to them.
And I think that's what's really cool about the program is that when I said anyone can be involved, whether you're an athlete or a non-athlete, these challenges are where you get a try at it, and then you get to better your time.
Sure.
And the concept of your team rallying around your efforts.
Yep.
So you're not competing against another person on your team. You're competing against your first time.
Previous score.
Yes.
Got it.
So it really is a motivator because they quickly see improvement, and they get that smile, and then once you get a smile going, it's over. They love it, and then they're willing to try hard and really see the benefits of this.
Sure. Now, earlier you mentioned that this is for boys and boys only.
Yes.
Why is this? Tell us a little bit of background on what motivated you to do this program.
Yeah, well, it's funny that in 2009, I was approached by a colleague to do summer camps with this. Like this concept of boys and fitness. Because there was a lot of like sports-specific things out there that people
Soccer
could get
camps, lacrosse camps, whatever.
But very little where you're laying the foundation for fitness and pushing fitness instead of a specific sport. So it started kind of just realizing that there's a void for that there, and there's a need for that, and boys need that guidance that they're not getting, as opposed to like girls with the excellent program like Girls on the Run, who has impacted hundreds of thousands of girls and families through that. And I was like, that's what boys need. They need more of that, the opportunity. But I think, there was phase 1 of that where I realized the need, but then phase 2 was when I connected it to my personal life. And that's what made it real to me. I lost my father 7 years ago, very quickly to cancer. And through that time, I realized that, that was like a turning point in my life where I realized I can use it to bottle up some anger, or I can use it in a positive way and make an impact. And I think when I started connecting all the pieces in my life, and it became real that this program encapsulated all those aspects, and this program is just not about fitness, but it's also about building up boys to face a challenge daily. Yeah. And that's when it became real, and that's when I just was set on fire for this. And so that's why I'm in it for the long haul. And
yeah, you saw the value right away, didn't you?
Right,
saw
right.
that it was kind of multifaceted. It's not just getting kids in shape and allowing them to have fun at the same time, but that was a purpose. Part of the purpose was, and part of your goal was character development,
right.
Wasn't it?
Yes, yes.
And tell us a little bit about that. Like, what would be the particular development of the day, or it changes from day to day, right? At least the
Yes.
focus. And give us an example of one of those.
Well, one of the cool things about the manual is that we not only want to talk about this during the session with the boys, we also want to connect it with their home life. So at the end of each session, there's a challenge. There's a challenge to take home. It's not homework. We treat it as a fun opportunity to accomplish a goal.
Yeah.
And so some of these challenges are physical. Some of them are nutritional challenges, like replace one soda with a water today, like small steps.
Yeah.
And then also some character building challenges. There's, like we were talking about a minute ago, like teamwork, leadership, goal setting. Some of these things are incorporated into these challenges where one example is when you get home, during this week, you have to make 3 people tell you thank you without you asking for it. So you have to do something creative to hold a door for someone, open whatever it is, but do something for someone else to make them say thank you without you asking for it. And it's just ways for them to start thinking in that way. It's in the classroom. It's talking about improving things in the classroom, like get your teacher to recognize you 5 times today for something good. And it's like little games that we get them playing that's improving them, like in every aspect of life.
Now, you mentioned that it's so many days during the week for how many weeks again is the program?
It's 6 weeks.
6 weeks, and then you switch from school to school. Like for instance, coming up in October, what is the first school that you guys are going to do this at?
Well, actually, we actually run all the schools at the same time.
Guys, so you have a lot of coaches throughout the
Correct.
county. Now, is this expand beyond Union County into Mecklenburg and other counties? Or?
It definitely does. Our growth pattern has, this kind of gets into our change from 2011. I established it as an LLC to start actually functioning in schools, and then I started with 3 schools. 3 schools went to 8, went to 16, and 20. Wow. And what I had to realize is, well, now like we can't maintain. There's not just one area wanting to start. This was Winston-Salem, this was Raleigh.
Sure. And
word of mouth, and Google, people were Googling us. So we had Northwest Arkansas, a group out of Northwest Arkansas, a group out of Chicago.
It's going to be a heck of a commute.
It takes a while. But even this season, one of our latest developments is Ontario, Canada. We have 4 schools in Ontario, Canada, and Collingwood is the name of the province. But right there, and it's just, we had to take it to a nonprofit. So the opportunity now for our company is that someone could launch a chapter, an affiliate chapter under our nonprofit umbrella in their area and lead their area. So that's kind of the development of late.
So even though you don't start your day until 2:15 with the kids, your day starts long before that if you're trying to deal with a program out in Ontario, Canada,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
But this is all good stuff because this is exactly what you envisioned, this
Yes.
is what you hope for, and this is what's good for our communities, right?
Right.
This is something that's awesome for our communities.
Yeah.
One last thing before we go. What has changed from the inception in 2009 until now? In other words, if you could go back to 2009 and tell, Steve, something about what to kind of expect, or you should do this to start, what would you tell that 2009 Steve?
I think I would prepare myself for the potential growth and lay the foundation early on. Like, we grew so fast that I had to hit the pause button and rally a team, and actually we had to go back to asking ourselves why on everything we do. Why are we motivated to do this? Why is our mission what it is? Like, why do we offer a 6-week program versus an 8-week program? Why? There has to be an answer to all of this. That's kind of what I would definitely advise myself on is just get your structure in place early because it's coming, and I didn't know that. And one thing that I forgot to mention about the program that's kind of like the icing on the cake is really cool that in every area there's what is called a big event. Okay. So after a 6-week session, every team from an area is actually, they travel to a close location, a central location, and they compete together as a team in an obstacle course challenge.
And so there may be dozens, maybe hundreds of kids there.
Yes, and vendors and parents. I mean, last big event we had over 600 people.
You got to get ESPN out there. They would love this.
I'm working on them. Under Armour.
Well, if you guys can get Arkansas involved, ESPN could easily jump aboard.
But it is a way to.
That's a culmination of event.
Right.
Culminating
it's a way to bring all of our fitness components as well as really highlight why we focus on those character components, because the cool thing about this obstacle course is you have to go through it together. You can't leave a man behind. You have to lock arms to cross the finish line together. Yeah. It's just really cool to watch these boys rely on each other to get through it. And parents are around it. Vendors, local sponsors. One of our huge local sponsors that's helped us get off the ground is Novant Health. Great. And they've been a huge supporter since day one. So we're appreciative of them, but it's awesome.
Thank you for being on the show. That's all we have for this time on The Fitness Doctor. Tune in next time.